Hello and welcome everyone. Uh, our today's session is last session of personal taxation, and today we will discuss assignment, uh, where we will assignment, and in today's lecture, uh, we will discuss different aspects of assignment, how to complete your assignment, where we embark on our final, in today's lecture, we will embark on our final session of assignment discussion. Throughout the past three lectures, we have explored fundamental concepts in taxation, capital gain tax, and the principal guiding taxation system. Right. My name is Yasir Gulfraz, and I'm your tutor for today's session. If anyone is there, and please let me know if you have any issues. I hope you can see my screen and can hear my voice. So now it's time to review and consideration of our understanding of last three sessions before we discuss the assignment tasks. So we will begin by revisiting the key ideas from each lecture to refresh our memory and ensure we are well prepared to apply these concepts to our assignments. Then we will discuss a detailed discussion of the assignment tasks. As you can see here, there are three tasks: task one, task two, and task three. Okay. So uh, uh, these three tasks, breaking down each assignment tasks, requirement and exploring strategies for effectively addressing them. Following that, we will turn our attention to the assessment criteria, which outline the standards for achieving a pass, merit, or distinctions in the unit. Understanding these criteria, we will provide clarity on what is expected from our assignment and how we can aim for higher level of achievement. Uh, Finally, we will conclude by touching upon the important topic of like plagiarism, discussing what if entails and emphasizing the importance of proper referencing and maintaining academic integrity. By the end of today's lecture, you will be well equipped by approach your assignment with confidence, armed with a solid understanding of the concepts, tasks, and assessment criteria. So let's get started. Right. If anyone is there, again, can you, I just will ask that if you have any issues, like if you can't see my screen or can't hear my voice, just please let me know. So, uh, here, learning outcome one, or our first lecture on taxation principles and characteristics. In our first lecture, we discussed uh, principle and characteristics of taxation systems. Like fairness, taxation systems should be fair and equitable, ensuring that individuals and entities contribute to public services based on their ability to pay. Then tax system should be efficient, minimizing administrative burdens and economic distortions while maximizing revenue collection. Tax system should be straightforward and easy to understand for taxpayers, reducing compliance costs and administrative complexities. Uh, then we discussed tax base and economic activities in our first session. Tax base refer to the economic activities or assets subject to taxations. Uh, in the here, so in the here, yes. So in the UK, tax base include income consumptions throughout VAT, property and profit earned by corporations. Tax structure encompass the framework for imposing, collecting, and dispersing taxes within a country. So this includes various forms of taxes such as uh, income tax, VAT, corporation tax, capital gain tax, and inheritance tax in the UK. Progressive, then we discuss progressive, regressive, and proportional tax criteria. Uh, we discuss progressive taxation means progressive taxation, that means that tax rates increase as income levels rise, aiming to redistribute wealth and promote social equity. Then we talk about regressive taxations, which refers to tax systems where the tax burden falls proportionality on lower income individuals, potentially exacerbating income inequity. Then we talk about proportional taxation, also known as flat taxation, applies to a contest, a constant tax rate, regardless of income level, maintaining a consistent tax burden across all income groups. Uh, we also talk about tax planning, avoidance, and evasion. So, tax planning involves legitimate strategies individuals and organizations use to minimize tax liabilities within the bounds of the law. Tax avoidance exploits legal loopholes in tax legislation to reduce tax payments, often through complex arrangements or structures. Tax evasion involves illegal activities to evade tax obligations, such as under reporting income or uh, false, falsifying, falsifying records and carries serve legal consequences. Uh, Tax planning is we also talk about tax planning. Tax planning is generally considered acceptable behavior, while tax avoidance and evasion raise ethical concerns due to their potential to undermine the integrity of the tax system and shift the tax burden unfairly onto complaint taxpayers. Uh, Also, uh, we discuss UK legislations which governs tax planning, avoidance, and evasion, with regulatory instruments in place to combat non-compliance. uh, Individuals and corporations have legal obligations to report instances of tax evasion, emphasizing the importance of transparency and accountability in upholding the integrity of the tax system. Any questions so far? Any issue? If anyone is there? Okay, so now we will move to our second lecture, where we discussed personal allowances, different topics in our learning outcome tools. We discuss personal allowances are the amount of which is amount of income individuals can earn before they start paying income tax. They serve as a tax-free thresholds. In the UK, personal allowance vary depending on factors such as income levels and other circumstances. We discussed individuals' relief for pension payments and charitable donations. Individuals can benefit from tax relief by contributing to their pensions or making charitable donations. contributions to pensions and you can see here. Uh, yes. So contribution to pensions and donations to registered charities can reduce an individual's taxable income, thereby lowering their overall tax liability. Uh, we also discussed how to calculate income tax. So income tax liabilities are determined based on various sources of income, including wages, salaries, pensions, investments, and rental income. So the UK has progressive UK has progressive income tax system where tax rates increases as income levels rise. Different tax bands apply to different income ranges. We also, in our learning outcome two, we discussed national insurance contribution or NIC as well. National insurance contributions are payment made by employees and employers to fund social security benefits and services in the UK. NIC normally are calculated based on an individual's earning and their employment status, uh, whether they are employed or self-employed. Employed. We also talk about tax planning techniques. Tax planning involves legally optimizing one's financial affairs to minimize tax liabilities. Strategies for tax planning may include maximizing the use of tax allowances, deductions, and reliefs, as well as structuring finances in a tax efficient manner. Uh, we also discuss tax rates and bands determines how much tax individuals need to pay on their income. National insurance rates and bands dictate the contributions individuals and employees make towards social security benefits. Benefits in kind also. Benefits in kind refers to non-monetary perks provided by employers to employees, such as company cars, private healthcare, or housing allowances. The value of benefits in kind is subject to taxation, and there are specific rules for determining their taxable value. This was learning outcome two. Any questions so far regarding learning outcome two or our second session? Any questions, any concerns, any issues, if anyone is there? Okay, so now we will quickly review our third session. Uh, in third lecture, we discussed capital gain tax in the UK. As you can see here, we discussed chargeable gains and allowable assets. Chargeable gains normally refers to the profit made from selling or disposing of certain assets such as property or investments. Allowable assets are those that are subject to capital gain tax when sold or disposed of in the UK. These assets typically include real estate, stocks, bonds, and certain personal possessions. Allowable persons and connected persons. Allowable persons are individuals or entities that are liable for capital gain tax on charitable gains. This includes individuals, trusts, and certain type of companies. Connected persons are individuals or entities with a close relationship, such as family members or business partners. Transactions between connected persons may have specific tax implications under capital gain tax rules. We also discussed chattels and wasting chattel rules. Chattels, as you know, that chattels refers to movable personal possessions um, uh, uh, such as artwork, antiques, and jewelry. So the vesting chattels rules apply to certain types of chattels, particularly those within a predictable lifespan of less than 50 years. These rules affects the calculation of capital gain tax when such assets are disposed of. We also discussed calculation in our learning outcome 3. We discussed calculation of chargeable gains and allowable losses. So, chargeable gains are calculated by subtracting the acquisition cost, purchasing price from the disposal proceeds, selling price of an asset. So allowable losses from the disposal of assets can be deducted from chargeable gains, reducing the overall capital gains liability. We discussed then disposal of shares. As you can see, losses rises from the disposal of shares. Capital gain tax also applies to the disposal of shares and other securities. The calculation of gains or losses from shares transactions involves considering factors such as the purchase price, selling price, and any associated costs or allowances. Then we discussed calculation of capital gain tax. Capital gain tax rates and allowances vary depending on factors such as the individual's income level and the type of assets being disposed of. So personal allowances and tax bands determine the amount of capital gains that are subject to tax and the applicable tax rates. Yeah, that's it. These were our last 3 sessions, and now we will move on to our move to discuss the assignment task in detail that helps you complete all tasks. So let's discuss task 1 of your assignment. So here. So you have been asked to complete the following tasks. Task 1 for the induction element of the course, you have been asked to prepare a self-study resource, a guide entitled Theories and Principle of Taxation Systems. So your resources uh, guide must explain the key principle of tax systems used for individuals, explain the feature of tax systems, and explain the difference between tax planning, tax avoidance, and evasions. Uh, I hope will be quite easy for you because we all 3 topics in we discussed in our learning first sessions in detail. So basically, task 1 of your assignment, preparing a self-study resource guide, title, theories, and principles of taxation systems for the inductions element of the course. So as your consultant, so you have a vital role in equipping trainee tax accounting students with essential knowledge in this area. So here, if you see, look at here from start, you are a consultant with background in accountancy. The local further education college has asked for you expertise in developing a range of resources to use with their tax accounting students. The college offers a range of distance learning courses to individuals wishing to work as a tax advisor and accountants. So you have agreed to work on a set of resources on personal taxation. As the developer, you are free to choose the formal of resources that you create. These could be online resources, interactive notes, or paper-based booklets. So where whichever format is chosen, it is important to include worked particular numerical examples where required to allow the learners to see how theories works in practice. So when required to consider a specific organization, you are free to choose an organization of your choice. These sections should be included to case study material and focus on your chosen organization and how to apply theory to practice. So the following information should be used when completing the units. UK centers, you will be required to use the tax rules and tax tables from the current tax years. So these will be provided by your tutor. So you can use whatever was in our learning outcome, learning outcome 1, 2, and 3. You can use uh, same years. So non-UK tax centers, if you are based in non-UK tax center and wish to use international tax information, which will be provided by uh, your tutor and can be used throughout the assignment. So right, so as we can see in our task 1 of assignments, preparing a self-study resources guide titled Theories and Principle of Taxation System. For the inductions element of the course, as your consultant, you have a vital role in equipping trainee tax accounting students with essential knowledge in this area. Firstly, you have to explain the key principle of tax systems used for individuals. Tax systems are built on foundational principles that guide their design and implementations. So these principles include concepts like fairness, efficiency, and simplicity. You will explore how these principles shape tax policies and determine the distribution of tax burdens among individuals. Now you will outline the features. Next one, explain the features of tax system. So here you will outline the features of tax systems. Tax systems encompass various elements such as the tax base, tax rates, and tax administrations. You have to, discuss how these features interact to form a comprehensive framework for revenue collections and public finance management. Uh, Next one is explain the difference between tax planning, tax avoidance, and tax evasion. So you will explain the critical distinction between tax planning, tax avoidance, and tax evasion. So as we discussed in our previous lecture, and just I review my previous lectures as well. So you can see that tax planning involves legitimate strategies individuals and organizations used to minimize tax liabilities within the bounds of the law. You have to emphasize the importance of tax planning as a responsible practice in tax management. Furthermore, you will shed light on tax avoidance, uh, which exploits legal loopholes in tax legislation to reduce tax payment. It is very essential to highlight the ethical considerations surrounding tax avoidance and its implication for tax fairness and compliance. Lastly, this task you will address tax evasion. Explain the difference between tax avoidance and evasion. So, tax evasion, which constitutes criminal conduct aimed to intentionally avoiding tax obligations. So, you have to emphasize the severe consequences of tax evasions, including legal penalties and damages to, uh, societal trust in the tax system. Uh, yes, any questions so far about task 1? Any issues, concern, or any questions you can ask if anyone is there? Okay. So let's move on to our task 2. To achieve no, first we will go to task 2, and then in uh, end of the lecture, I will talk about how to get merit, pass, and distinction. So in task 2, the college has asked you to prepare a self-study resources on how to calculate income tax and national insurance contribution for a taxpayer that can be used by all the accountancy students on the program. So you must ensure there are practical numerical examples throughout. You should uh, clearly explain how any figures have been calculated. So your self-study resources must calculate taxable income from employment, investment, and property, apply personal allowances, determine the taxable value of benefit in kind, calculate total income, tax liability, and a national insurance contribution for given data. So, task 2 of the assignments, you will be preparing a self-study resource on how to calculate income tax and NIC for a taxpayer. So this resource will be used by all accountancy students in the program. So it's important to provide clear explanations and practical numerical examples throughout. Now, first, you have to calculate taxable income from various sources, including employment, investments, and property. This involves understanding how to determine the income subject to taxation after accounting for allowable deductions and exemptions. Uh, then apply personal allowances. You will apply personal allowances to reduce the taxable income. Personal allowances serve as a tax-free threshold, allowing individuals to earn a certain amount of income being before paying tax, as we discussed previously as well. So additionally, you have to determine the taxable value of benefits in kind. Okay, third point, uh, here you can see. So benefit in kind are non-monetary perks provided by employers such as company cars or private health care, which are subject to taxation. Uh, then finally calculate total income tax liability and national insurance contribution from given data here. So you will calculate the total income tax liability and national insurance contribution based on the given data. This required applying the relevant tax rates and bands to the taxable income and benefits in uh, kind. So to complete this task, you can visit or you can look at your learning outcome tools. So yeah, where you will find all these 4 points. So then we will come to the final task. Uh, in preparation of the students' final examination, you have asked to prepare a set of revision cards for any calculations. You will need to clearly show your knowledge, your working. Your relevant cards must explain the difference between chargeable and example assets, explain the difference between chargeable and exempt persons, demonstrate how to calculate capital gain tax payable by individuals for given data. So think about learning outcome 3. Uh, so first you have to you will explain the difference between chargeable and exempt assets. Chargeable assets are those subject to capital gain tax when sold or disposed of, such as real estate, stocks, and certain personal possessions. Exempt assets, on the other hand, are not subject to capital gain tax, such as certain government securities, personal vehicles, and certain personal possessions with the total value below a certain threshold. Uh, Next, you will explain the difference between chargeable and exempt persons. Uh, chargeable persons are individuals or entities liable for capital gain tax on chargeable assets. Exempt persons are individuals or entities exempt from capital gain tax, such as certain non-profit organizations or government bodies. Finally, demonstrate how to calculate capital gain tax payable by an individuals from given data. So you will demonstrate how to calculate capital gain tax payable by an individuals from given data. This involves determining the chargeable gain or loss from the disposal of assets, uh, taking into accounts factors such as acquisition cost, disposal proceeds, allowable deductions, and any applicable relief or exemptions. So you will need to clearly show your working, including any calculations and explanations of how figures are derived. By preparing these revision cards, students will have a concise and comprehensive resources to review key concepts related to capital gain tax, ensuring they are well prepared for their final examinations. Remember to include practical examples and clear explanations to add in their understanding and retention of the material. So, in your task one, uh, you will assess based on the following, based on the learning outcomes uh, and assessment criteria. Learning outcome one means follow lecture one. To achieve a pass, you must prepare a self-study resources guide titled Theories and Principles of Taxation Systems, incorporating practical examples throughout to support the theoretical concepts. Uh, uh, Criteria is here. Yes, so your explanations should cover principle of the UK tax system, tax base, tax structures, progressive, regressive, and proportional tax criteria. So key differences between tax planning, avoidance and evasion, ethical implications, current legislations, requirements to report tax evasion to achieve a merit. In addition to the all requirements for a pass, your resources guide should utilize practical examples to explain the theoretical aspects of taxation systems comprehensive, comprehensively. So also ensure your resources guide is well structured, clear, and indicate relevant examples to enhance understanding. By meeting these criteria, you will demonstrate a strong grasp of their principles and concepts of taxation examples or taxation systems contribution to your overall achieving in the this assignment task. Then task two, your assessment will be based on learning outcome tools, means our second session or lectures and its associated assessment criteria. You can see here. Uh, to achieve a pass, you must prepare a self-study resources suitable for all accountancy student in the program. The resource should be fit for purpose and in corporate appropriate data which could be obtained from familiar business organizations or anonymized uh, live material with permissions, if necessary, a case study or relevant data provided by the, uh, uh, you know, you can by learning management system. Your resources must cover practical aspects of calculating income tax and national insurance contributions, including calculating taxable income from employment, investment, and property, then employing personal allowances, determining the tax value of benefits in kind, calculating total income tax liability and national contributions from given data. So, to achieve a merit, uh, in addition to meeting the passing criteria, your resources should be include written explanation, support by here supported by uh, examples demonstrating how relief for pension payments and chargeable payments and charitable donations are applied to income tax calculations. So ensures your resources is comprehensive, well structured, and includes accurate calculations and clear explanations. By meeting these criteria, you will demonstrate through understanding of income tax and national insurance contributions, as well as the ability to provide valuable guidance on minimizing tax liabilities. So this was tasks 2 and learning requirement. Its requirement for pass, merit, and distinction. Any questions so far about learning outcome 2, tasks 2, or passing criteria? Okay, so now uh, we will focus on lecture 3 and its associated assessment criteria to achieve a pass. Here, to achieve a pass, you must prepare a set of revision cards covering key concepts related to capital gain tax. The revision cards should include the uh, chargeable gains and allowable assets, chargeable gains and allowable persons, connected persons, chattels and wasting chattel rules, calculating of chargeable gains and allowable losses, calculating calculation of gains and losses arising from the disposal of shares, calculation of capital gain tax, personal allowance rates, and bands. So your revision cards should be well structured and concise, providing clear explanations of each concept's practical examples should be included to supported the written theory work helping to reinforce understanding. So ensure your revision cards cover all required content comprehensively, demonstrating your knowledge and ability to communicate complex concept effectively. Yes, finally, we will talk about assignment structure or, uh, references. In your references, uh, include a list of sources cited in your assignments at the end, arranged, alphabetically by the author's last name. For books, include the author's name, publications, years, title, publisher, and place of publication. For journal, uh, articles include the author's name, publication year, article title, journal name, volume numbers, issue number if applicable. So, page range and URL, website. So, here guidance or so. For online sources, include the author's name, publication years, title of the web page or documents. Make sure to follow the specific formatting guidelines for each type of sources. Uh, then consistency, maintain consistency in formatting throughout your references list using the same style for all entries. Double check your citations and references to ensure accuracy and completeness. By following these guidelines, you will create a well-referenced assignment that adheres to the, Harvard reference system and demonstrate academic integrity. Finally, we will talk about plagiarism. Plagiarism is the act of using someone else's work, ideas, or work without proper acknowledgements or permission and presenting them as one's own. So it can various forms, including direct plagiarism, copying and pasting text from a source without quotations, marks, or proper citation. Paraphrasing, plagiarism, rewording someone else's ideas or text without proper attributing the original source, then reusing one's own previously submitted work without proper citations. So plagiarism undermines academic integrity and honesty, as it misrepresents the originality and effort put into academic work. It also violates ethical standards by failing to give credit to the original uh, authors or citations. In assignment, you are expected to demonstrate your understanding of the topic by synthesizing information from various sources, providing critical analysis, and presenting their own ideas in an original manner. Uh, Proper citation and referencing are essential for acknowledging the contribution of others and avoiding plagiarisms. Also, you should be aware of the less than 10% policy and guidance to maintain academic integrity. Uh, in this assignment, you have the flexibility to cover all the requirement and criteria for each task without being constrained by a specified word limit. This allows you to provide comprehensive explanations, include practical examples, and ensures throughout coverage of the concepts and topic outlined in the assignment brief. Make sure to utilize this freedom effectively to produce high quality work that meets or exceeds the expectations set uh, forth by the assessment criteria. Uh, to ensure your submission meets the requirement and is presented in the proper format, prepare your assignment documents using Microsoft or another word processing software. Format your documents according to academic standards, including a clear title page with your name, course details, assignment title, and submission date, uh, which is 2 weeks from your today's lecture. So organize your assignment into sections corresponding to each task with clear heading and subheadings for easy navigation. Write a clear and concise manner, providing through explanations and using appropriate language and terminology. Include practical examples, calculations, and references as needed to support your arguments and demonstrate your understanding of the concepts. Ensure proper citing and referencing using the Harvard reference system for all sources used in your assignments. Uh, Proofread your documents carefully to check for any error in grammar, spelling, or formatting. Save your document as a Word file or PDF for submission. So once your document or assignment is ready, you can submit it via the online Moodle platform. So by following these steps and adhering to specified format and submission guidelines, you can ensure that your assignment is well present and meets the requirement for submission. And that's it. And good luck for everyone for your assignment. Thank you very much for our today last session. So if there is any question, concerns or issue, you can drop me an email at yasir@ukversity.co.uk for any further questions or issues. Thanks everyone, and good luck for your assignments. And I hope I'll see you in any of or lecture, any other lectures. So thanks and have a good weekend, everyone, and good luck for your assignment. Bye for now. Bye, everyone.